So we had a few audio issues with the last time I tried to record the next episode of this series. We're going to show you cuts of that episode with me talking over the top of it because obviously it was a disaster. It was very crackly, you couldn't tell really what I was saying. I tried to fix it in post-production, but I couldn't do it to a standard I was happy with releasing the video. So we'll start with this information, which is basically that a lot of our workers were also working for Insane Championship Wrestling, the Scottish promotion, during this set of taping. So it's going to be a bit of an issue. We can't have our tag team championships. We can't have our tag team titles defended because Mike Cash is not here. Tyson T-Bone, our most popular wrestler, is not available. Rio wasn't available. Johnny Rose wasn't available. Hydrosis, Dan Stryker, Bully Boy Carter, and Alex Rancid. They were all not available due to prior commitments. Obviously, ICW is a bigger promotion, so they got first dibs basically on those wrestlers. So we had to book around that. So we had P.T. Crockett announce that there was going to be a women's tournament, the Peggy Lee Classic. I can see it on the screen myself now. Alex Windsor, Killer Kelly, Lacey James all involved, Connie Steele. But we also had some names which weren't on the roster, some people who were brought in specially for this event. Nicole Matthews, Millie McKenzie, Chardonnay. We brought in a few unknown names, at least in our AWA, to bolster the roster for this tournament. And Nicole Matthews got a good rating, a very good rating for a cocky gimmick. Millie McKenzie debuted her old school face gimmick, got a poor rating. Before the opening match, we had Millie McKenzie cutting a promo talking about her match with Athena Fury coming up this evening, and it only got a rating of 13, which was a bit disappointing. Next up, we had that match, which had decent reaction from the crowd, but terrible wrestling. Athena Fury defeated Millie McKenzie in 6 minutes and 51 seconds by submission. Athena Fury got a rating of 21, Millie McKenzie got a 15, and it got an 18 rating overall. After that, we had another match. We had Lacey James going over Connie Steele in 3 minutes and 35 seconds, when Connie Steele ran for her life. As we've been doing in the story recently, Lacey James, since losing the title, has been in a certain dark place. She's been writing things in her diaries. People are just scared of her at the moment. She's a character that's on the edge, and Connie Steele wanted nothing to do with her and basically ran for her life as soon as the bell rang to get out of there. She got counted out by the 10 counts, and Lacey James picks up the point to continue in the tournament. Before I continue, I should mention that this tournament is a 8-woman tournament, which is a round robin, so they will all face off against each other at least once, and then the winner of that league table will be declared the winner. It was just a way to get the women more on the show, and obviously with the people out at the moment, I thought we could do something a bit different. And a tournament where a round robin, which has been introduced into this game for this year's edition 2020, I thought it'd be interesting to see how it went. You get a point for a win and you get no points for a draw. Next up, we have P.T. Crockett once again out to introduce a new signing here in AWA. Garrett Bond is the new man here in the company, and he is also known as G-Wiz on the indie scene. He is an up-and-coming British wrestler, and he is the latest member to join AWA. This gets a rating of 20. And after that, we have the main event match of the evening. We have Alex Windsor taking on Nicole Matthews. Her debut here in AWA in a bout that had decent reaction from the crowd. Alex Windsor drew with Nicole Matthews following a double countout. They both got into a scrap, took it onto the outside, and the referee counted them both out of the match. Neither of them get any points in the tournament, which is disappointing for them, but it's early days in the tournament. This gets a rating of 21. Good solid end to the show. It should also be noted that I'm not booking any match results, at least, apart from that Lacey James one where you saw Connie Steele run for her life. I might book Lacey James's because it's related to a storyline, but I want this tournament to see who is the best of the best, and that was the end of the show. So it was a strong start with Petey Crockett announcing the Peggy Lee Classic. We then had a bit of a downbeat where you had Millie McKenzie hyping up her match against Fury. Obviously, she's a new name. She's not going to be that popular, so people won't know why the hell she's talking. Athena Fury picked up the win, which boosted the rating up to an 18 there. Lacey James won a match which was very short, so that's why it's a 15 rating. Petey Crockett comes out again, introduces Garrett Bond, one of our new wrestlers. We might see him in action on the next show. And then Alex Windsor drew with Nicole Matthews in the main event. So it was a 22 rating overall, solid. We increased our popularity in 12 regions, and you are now caught up. So we will get into today's episode. Welcome back to Virtually AWA. As I mentioned earlier in this episode, we had those audio issues, but I thought I'd show you the table so far for the Cup so you knew where everyone was in the Peggy Lee Classic. We've got 8 women involved: Alex Windsor, Athena Fury, Chardonnay, Connie Steele, Killer Kelly, Lacey James, Millie McKenzie, and of course the Canadian Ninja herself, Nicole Matthews. We've had, I believe it was 3 matches so far. You had Alex Windsor draw against Nicole Matthews, Millie McKenzie lost to Athena Fury, and Connie Steele lost to Lacey James. We're going to see Chardonnay in action this week. You got Killer Kelly in action this week. And we will continue the tournament. Another few will also have matches, but the first one will be Chardonnay versus Killer Kelly. I thought I'd just show you this just so you could see what the new tournament layout is. This is how it's set up for the round robin. So you've got the points on the side there. You've got the 2 versus 3, etc. You know how you would, to show you how they'd got on against each person. We've also had other tournaments, and they're pretty much like the other ones used to be. So you got quarterfinals, you have them written in there, then you'd have the semi-finals and then finals. It's like basically eliminations like that, and then round robin is you put them all in and they battle each other, which is the one we're currently using for the tournament. So I thought I'd just give you a little insight in how that one works, and we will get into the show. So we are going to kick it off with a match between Chardonnay and, of course, our women's champion, Killer Kelly. This is going to be a non-title match because this is not a... Of course, it's a tournament. It is not designed for losing the title. So we'll do that. We will not book the title on the line just in case Killer Kelly loses. I don't think she will, but you never know. It might build into storylines in the future if Killer Kelly loses like most of her matches in this. It might lead into a story after the tournament. We're going to have... Who else is in the tournament? Let's remember this. Alex Windsor is definitely in the tournament. We're going to put her against Athena Fury in an 8-minute match. And then we will have Millie McKenzie going up against Nicole Matthews. Make that a storytelling match because we need at least one on the card to make it worthwhile. We've got 1 minute left. Might need to cut down the Killer Kelly match slightly because I need a segment on this show. Okay, so there we go. That's going to be the card tonight. We've got Connie Steele starting off the show. She is, of course, won the lottery about a month or so ago now, so she's just arrived, gets her wad of cash out, gives it to the person and says, "Park my car." She's left it in the middle of nowhere, just in the middle of the car park. People are beeping their horns. She doesn't give a crap. And this gets a segment rating of 15 to kick off the show. Then we have a match between Alex Windsor and Athena Fury in a bout that had decent reaction. Alex Windsor picks up the win against Athena Fury in 7 minutes and 41 seconds with the Libertine driver. This continues the tournament. It gets a rating of 19 with Alex Windsor getting a 22 and Athena Fury getting a 23. The match got the crowd hotter. Then we had a match between Millie McKenzie and Nicole Matthews in a match that had little heat because neither of those two are really well known here in this division. Embarrassing wrestling. I can't believe that. Those two are very, very capable women's wrestlers, and I don't think that would be the case. But nonetheless, Nicole Matthews picks up the win against Millie McKenzie in 7 minutes and 40 seconds with a Vancouver maneuver. This continues the tournament, a rating of 15. Millie McKenzie also got a 15 and Nicole Matthews with a 17. Nicole Matthews is getting better at her gimmick. And then in our main event match, we have Chardonnay taking on the women's champion Killer Kelly in a bout that had decent reaction from the crowd. Chardonnay beat Killer Kelly in 10 minutes and 8 seconds by pinfall. What a big shock to end the second show of this tournament. You've got the women's champion Killer Kelly being defeated by Chardonnay, someone who's only appeared on the show once before. A shock win. 23 rating. Chardonnay gets a 25, Killer Kelly with a 26. The match got the crowd hotter as they go home happy. Once again, we're in front of a crowd of, it doesn't say yet, but a good crowd here at the Wolverley Sports and Social Club. Killer Kelly loses in the main event. So the show overall gets a 17 rating. We lost popularity in 2 regions. We didn't have that many angles or interviews because we're doing this tournament gimmick. So I'm willing to lose a bit of popularity at the moment just because I'm trying to build up this tournament and there's a lot of matches to get through. But yeah, it's never good when you're losing popularity in any region. Hopefully it's not the Midlands because we're trying to grow that in to get into the next tier of companies so we can get and build bigger and sign better wrestlers and grow the brand. But nonetheless, 17 rating for this. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry about yesterday once again for not getting an episode out. We've hopefully made it better by putting 2-in-1 sort of thing today. And like the video if you enjoyed that we're back, and subscribe so you don't miss another episode as we continue virtually AWA. Thank you for watching and we'll see you next time.